A lot of businesses
And
I find from a marketing perspective focus on customer acquisition. It's so much more expensive and so many don't focus on customer retention.
a lot of successful businessmen, millionaires in Australia went through the same situation. They were bankrupt once. They failed their business. They should start up again but they did not start from scratch.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
My dad said to me before he passed away, always look after your customers, build a relationship, never become transactional.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome to Naked at the Top.
Yes, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your podcast, Alex. It's really great too, Alex. This is a really great synergy, isn't it?
I know, it's great. Well, you don't have the Y and the Y in your name, so
That's right.
So could you just start by just introducing yourself? What do you do
Sure.
and the company that you run?
Yeah. So my name is Alex Sees. I run a company called Atlas Business Consulting and Mentoring Services. So we do a lot of mentoring for small, medium and micro businesses around Melbourne and some parts in Australia. So I have clients in Sydney, Queensland and also in Adelaide. So I love what I'm doing. So I've started this in February, March of 2020, right at the start of COVID.
It's a great
And I'm
time
loving
to
it.
start.
Absolutely. You know what? For COVID, for what it is, it presented a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. And one of those opportunities I grabbed, and this is where I am today. So I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate in what I'm doing.
I'm curious, Alex, how did it start? At that particular time at COVID, what was the spark to make it start at that particular moment in time?
Yeah, it's really funny because at the start of, because I used to work for a company that we distribute high-end meat to a lot of restaurants. So when COVID hit, I was out of work because restaurant industry closed down. So I went into my LinkedIn and said, listen, hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm leaving this company. Thank you for all your friendship and connections, etc. Then, long behold, someone within my LinkedIn connection reached out to me and said, hey, Alex, I'd love to connect with you. I have a problem with my company, with my business. Can you help me? I can't afford to pay you full time, but I'm happy to discuss hourly rate. So that was my light bulb moment. I did have another job to go to, but I said, okay, I'm going to give this a try. So I went to see her. We had a discussion and she engaged my services. And that was my very light bulb moment to say, I love this. I want to go into mentoring and because I've got over 40 years of experience. I did run some businesses in the past as well. So I know the pain points of being a business owner. And I know what the challenges they go through. So I'm going to share that skills and knowledge to somebody out there that can help them personally grow as well. So I think it's the right moment because I believe that I can make positive change and impact to small business owners. So I did. And to this day, she's still my number one customer.
Fantastic. Yeah, I was gonna ask, how is she today? And are you still speaking with her? So you still work with her today?
Yeah, I do, and I call into her office once a week. So I spend a whole day in the office. It's like a pseudo advisor in a way for her. So I do sort of mentoring, and from time to time she rings me up for advice. But once a week, I'm at their office. So it's great. It's not just a client anymore. It's more like developing into a great friendship in that way and helping her pivot her business through COVID and pivot the way they do things for growth. And last year, for the first time, we posted a net profit result. So, which is really good, So it's kind of sometimes as a business owner, you get too overwhelmed in your day-to-day tasks. And I just need somebody to come in to say, hey, listen, have you tried doing this, doing that? Some education about how to read your financial statements, because never before they did not know how to read P&L. So, and I said, hey, listen, these are the numbers you got to watch out for. And this is where we're tracking the last 5 years. And this is where we need to be. So the strategy behind that was where we need to be,
Mhm.
right? So we've learned the lessons in the past, and where we need to be is more strategic. So, and we did that, and they remain focused, and their product range is now so evolving to be more premium quality products that they distribute, and it's really great because the clientele that they have now, it's a great clientele. So we've really pivoted the business from what it was to what it is now, and what's going to be. So yeah,
Mm,
I'm
mm,
I'm just so happy the way just their mindset changed and their
mhm.
whole attitude about their business changed as well.
And how do you, because it often does take that, sometimes just that outsider's perspective to help you see, especially when you're in the day to day of it in the weeds, it can
Mm,
be hard to see. How do you think you help them with that mindset approach? Because, as we all know, working in business, a lot of it is mindset, right?
it is. And mine is about everything because I went through a similar situation where I had my business. And back then, I was back in 2005 when I started my own grocery store. And back then, there was no support for mental health. Beyond Blue didn't not exist at that time as well. So I managed to navigate my way through about, starting pains, growth pains, the challenges within business, financial juggling, and so forth. I share that with my clients, and I share those pain points to say how I got through it in a way. And with this particular first client I had, it's just having that positive mindset because there's a financial goal that we need to reach to. We need to have a strategic direction of the business and how we're going to get there as well.
Mhm.
And doing a strategic plan, it needs to be more realistic so they can see the outcome, they can see where they're heading, and that changes a lot of perspective to say, oh, this wasn't explained to us before,
Mm.
or we never had this before. This is great. And, because sometimes too, when people do budgets and financial goals, sometimes they pluck a number from the sky to say, you need to be that. Then most of the time, they're not achievable.
Mm.
So I'd rather be more realistic in a way. Okay, for the growth, we need to have a 15% growth. It's better than last year, but it's a growth. So slowly, so they can see that they're actually making an impact with the growth in itself. And not just financial growth or sales growth. They're looking at the team within as well. Do you have the right people? Do you have the right team? Do you have the right leadership within the organization that helps you achieve your strategic goals as well? So
Mm.
we did a lot of that um, back 5 years ago.
Mm.
So
Mm.
and the rewards is slowly getting through now in terms of about having the first net trading profit last year, and we're heading in the right direction this year as well.
Mhm.
So that changes a lot of things. That changes their mindset to say, yes, we can do this together. We got the right people, we got the right team, we have the right customers. It's about customer relationship as well, customer engagement. They never had a they never had a customer retention strategy before as well.
A lot of
So,
businesses don't. A
yeah.
lot of businesses
And
I find, well, from a marketing perspective, focus on customer acquisition, right? And that's,
mm,
well, it's so much more expensive, the customer acquisition, and so many don't focus on the customer retention. It's almost like, well, we've got the
yeah.
customer now, and it's like, well, we should be focusing on keeping that customer as well.
That's right. And to do that, it's all about relationship, right? And
Mhm.
look at what else can we guide them in their basket, in the shopping basket.
Mhm.
These are your low hanging fruits, right? And sometimes too, a lot of customers talk to their own network as well. So it's about developing that relationship. Hey, listen, do you know anyone else within your business that we can help, with our services as well? Said, oh yeah, Fred down the road, he needs some help. He needs your products.
Mhm.
So it's about referral as well.
Yeah.
So those are the little tangible strategies we put together
Mhm.
in order for this company to grow and pivot their way through.
Mhm. And I like the fact that you mentioned, it's been 5 years, because often, and I'm putting myself in this bucket, we want to be there like yesterday, and we always underestimate how long things will take. So I
Yeah.
think it's really good for the listeners to be able to hear, that's over a 5-year period. It doesn't happen overnight. And when you were talking about the financials for the listeners that maybe aren't sure where they would even start, like what would your advice be in terms of setting those realistic goals? What do they need to be looking for?
So you're looking at first of all, your financial numbers, right? So your profitability of the business, So if at the moment you're sort of break even, you're going for a loss or a minimal net profit, you need to say, okay, this is my business, and these are the overheads that I have and that can be changed. So
Mm.
yes, we can review the expenses the business goes through, and we can review some of those items and so forth. But in terms of our sales, where do we need to be? Because sometimes too, when business is trying to grow, the first thing they do is cut expenses, cut wages, cut staff, right? And often sometimes too, they let go of good staff as well. So, and when you look at it, okay, so let's go to the other end. Let's look at from a sales perspective. What other market that we can tap into? What other areas that we can delve into? What are the low hanging fruits? What is our
Mhm.
customer referral scheme like? For customers to refer our services and to their friends as well.
Mhm.
Things like that to build the revenue side of things. And for the business owners, you've got to know your numbers. And to do that, sometimes a lot of accountants are not being so proactive. And I have a lot of horror stories from my clients coming to me and said, "Oh, do you know a good accountant?" Right? Most of the time. Because sometimes through changing accountants, it's not easy to do. You got to build relationship and trust from that, right? So first thing I ask is, okay, what relationship do you have with your accountants? Are they being proactive? Do they just ring up in August of the following year to say, "Hey, listen, you've got a tax bill of $100,000. A good accountant around April or May should be coming to you and said, "We want to do a tax planning session,
Mm.
right? We want to do some financial forecasting." That's
Yeah.
being proactive. And looking at, because they know intimately your financials. They should be coaching you. They should be telling you, "Hey, listen, you're going in the wrong direction. We should be improving a lot of things as well." So, and those are the little things that what accountants should be doing, right? And there's some great accountants out there who are so proactive. They want to help you grow from that perspective. So, and from a business owner, it's all about key learnings. So one of those key learnings is for the accountant's ability to translate the financials with you as well. Most accountants don't, some do. And so those are the little fundamental things a business owner should be aware. Am I getting good value for my accountants?
Mm.
Are they giving me the right advice? Are they giving me the right education?
Mm.
Because some business owners know the numbers, but they don't know do they know how to translate those numbers?
Mhm.
In my balance sheet, am I traveling in a good financial position in my balance sheet? What is my ratios in my balance sheet as well?
Yeah.
Am I liquid enough? So little things like that, good accountants can really help. Fortunately enough, I've got an accounting degree. I'm not a CPA accountant because that wasn't my intention, but at least I can read financial statements and able to translate and interpret them. Right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so as a business mentor, it's important because when you're trying to look at a business, it all starts with the numbers,
It does indeed.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and now it's a good time because 30th of June, 2025, that's the end of your financial year. And you say to yourself, okay, where did I end up with and where should I be heading to? So by
Mhm.
now, she should have a good financial budget for this new financial year.
Yeah.
And for that, you should be building your strategic goals to say, I want to increase revenue by X percentage so that I can have a better return on investments from that.
Mm.
Right. So that's really fun doing it, putting together strategic goals because it involves a lot of dynamics within the business as well.
Mm.
And if you have a great team, and you say yourself, who are my great team leaders that can help me achieve the financial growth of the business?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Solid advice. It's great that you've got that accounting degree so you can help with those numbers as well.
yeah.
I would love to know a little bit more about you, Alex.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
So in terms of, you're obviously run lots of businesses and you mentor lots of businesses. Has leadership always been something that you were drawn to from a young age? Can you take us back to young Alex?
Yeah. Actually, I have. I have. And I always say to myself that leaders are born.
Mm,
And I, it's a great question because when I did my MBA in 2017, my final thesis was about leadership.
mm,
And I had to write about myself, so transition to be an effective leader. So at the age of 10, 12 years old, I come from the Philippines myself, and I was in the Boy Scouts. And back then I was the squad leader at 11 years old. And okay, so as a squad leader, oh, okay, so that means I'm commanding troops of 15 other Boy Scouts, right? And I said, oh, wow, this is great. So I guess that's where it stemmed from that. And I came to Australia and arrived in Australia in 1976. So I went to University High School in Parkville because when we arrived as a young adult, we live in North Melbourne and we were in the zone of University High. So, so that's where I did my high school years. And in my final year, I was the school captain. I represented the students in the school council. So
mhm,
that was really a great, um, I guess, testament of the relationship I built with the student community in that school to
mm,
be to be elected as the student rep in the council. And from then, I also had in the sporting field. So I was great in basketball and volleyball. So I was a school captain in basketball and
yeah,
volleyball
wow.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was a co-captain in swimming as well in that school. So I guess going back to your question, it's leadership's always been inherent in me,
Mm,
within me, and because I can relate to people
mhm,
and lead by example from
mm,
that, So
mm,
in my community network as well that I volunteer with, so they see myself as a community leader that can help and support and mentor other community people within different multicultural groups as well in Melbourne.
mm. So you've always gravitated towards that leadership style, and given that you were elected by the students,
Mm.
and then co-captain in sports, how important would you say it is in just being able to connect with people and build those relationships?
Yeah, because this leadership, it's all about taking charge of the situation, in that way. And leadership's all about being show that bit of empathy within
Yeah.
you, and you have to have that character. You need to have that attitude. You need to have that building that trust relationship that people can come up to you and talk to you as well,
Mm,
right? Because sometimes too leaders can be standoffish. "Oh,
mhm,
I'm a leader, right? So stay away from me." But no, and that's not how I work.
mm,
Leadership's about being relationship, really,
mhm,
and it's about building that relationship, building that trust, building that integrity. Because you need to portray yourself as a leader. How do you portray yourself in a community?
mm,
How do you portray yourself in the student community as well,
mm,
right? So, and that's why in my high school years, what led me to become a student rep a student representative in the school council, because I've done being a school captain in different sports, co-captain in different sports as well, and I also help mentor young students coming into the high school first time,
mm,
year sevens, and sometimes too. There's a new student coming on board, so I volunteer to show them around the school, to show them around people, and building that great relationship with the school principal and
mm,
vice principal as well. And it's so great because for the first time in that school, we formed a basketball team to play outside school hours. And we were playing at Albert Park basketball. And that was the first time that school ever, the principal sponsored school uniforms and the fees so that we can have a team at Albert Park Basketball Stadium. So
Amazing.
that was a great hit.
How did you pull that one off? What did you need to do to get the principal to tick that one off?
Well, we just saying that it would be great, I guess, what do you call it, a profile for the school to have something there. And we've got some great basketball students that's so keen to play. We were in D grade, right? So we haven't won a lot of games, but it's the fun of being there, being able to compete and also to represent the high school as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was a great, I guess it was a great social connection after school hours. So the game starts at 4:30, right? So at Albert Park Stadium. So we did two seasons playing at Albert Park. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the old Albert Park basketball stadium, not the new one, the very old one.
Well,
Yeah,
I've only been here 10 years, so I'm not privy to that one, I don't think.
yeah. So that used to be the old basketball courts. There used to be very, so there used to be about 10, 12 basketball courts in the old basketball stadium there. So that was
Yeah.
back then. So it was really good because the school got behind it as well, right? A few teachers got behind it as well, and it was a great community spirit.
Yeah.
Good involvement from the school community as well.
Yeah, it brings everyone together. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really good because my very first time representing the student in the school council was very overwhelming because you talk about being in a school council and there's people there with so many degrees, and I had a great mentor, and he was one of the representatives of the local residents, and his name was Dr. Winston McCarkey, who became a governor of Victoria.
Mm.
And he was my great mentor. He was telling me the protocols in the council, what goes on. And he sits beside me and then teaching me the ropes, really. And he was such a great mentor to me. He really shaped my education about how to handle boards or councils, the protocols behind that as well.
So what's some of the advice or tips that he gave you that kind of have stayed with you?
The ability to listen. Don't jump in, just listen, take notes, right? And be humble in what you're doing, right? So there was one that the school was trying to implement school uniforms. And so I went out to the student population to say, do you want school uniforms? So Dr. Winston McCarkey guided me through the best way how to approach this issue, and then helped me prepare the submission back to the council to say a lot of the students doesn't want school uniform. So he helped me prepare that brief, and we won. So the council at that time did not implement the school uniform policy.
Fantastic. So that was a great example of you listening to what the students need and then being able to present that information in such a way that would ultimately get you what you wanted.
And that built further trust within the students as well to say, yes, that somebody there who's actually representing us, who's willing to fight for us, right? So, yeah, I had a really good eye opener in my early youth in the council.
Yeah. And I think that's really important in business as well. Certainly in marketing, is actually just listening to your customers and listening to your audience more. And many businesses don't do it. So then when I speak to them about messaging and I ask them, well, what is it that your ideal clients, your customers really struggle with, and like try to tap into more of that emotion and the feeling. And many of them don't know because they haven't spent the time to listen. So, listening is just so powerful in so many formats.
Yeah. Sorry, my mentor at council was Dr. Davis McCarkey. Winston McCarkey was her daughter who became the Lord Mayor of Melbourne. Dr. Davis McCarkey passed away early 2000. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, he really influenced my life in that way. Forever grateful to him. Yeah.
So have you found you've had many mentors throughout your career? Obviously, be your mentor yourself, but for your own trajectory.
I did. My biggest mentor is my dad, who unfortunately passed away in 1994. And he was my greatest mentor from a business perspective. And how can I say, 20 years ago, I met this guy. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dandenong Road and Warrigal Road, Chadstone, one of the busiest roads in Melbourne. So it was a Friday night. It was raining. I was turning right from Dandenong Road to Warrigal Road. If everyone's familiar, there's a Shell. There's a Shell service station on the corner there as well. So there's a car in front of me stalled halfway down the intersection because it was raining. It was cold. No one got out and helped the gentleman. He was an old guy. So I quickly parked my car at the Shell service station, run to the corner where he is in the middle of this intersection and helped him push the car to Shell. So we got to Shell. I said, listen, just stay inside. He was really shaken up. So I went inside, grabbed him, bought a bottle of water and gave that to him, settled down. He turns out to be one of the biggest successful businessmen in Melbourne. I won't mention the name. And he ran about 7, 8 businesses, right? And I said to him, wow. And he mentored me a lot from a business perspective. We became more than friends, right? And unfortunately, he passed away 2 years ago. He was a beautiful soul, and the way he treated his business was like not just being family, but to develop a culture of openness, diversity. He was so results driven in that way. Build a culture, build a great team in a way that can advance the business in itself, right? So it had 7 business units. And basically, I reconnected with him, was it when I started my business about 5 years ago? And actually, I did a couple of mentorship to his leadership team in 2 of his companies as well. So the mentee became the mentor.
Full circle moment. What a beautiful example of, just being kind to others. Just if you see someone that needs help, go and help them. It's amazing to me how often you can see someone that's struggling or needs help, and so many people just walk on by. And
that's right.
Just an act of kindness goes a long way. Well, look what happened. That friendship that it led to for you.
Oh, and then he said to me that he rang somebody, someone picked him up, so, and then basically his car was towed away. And I said, Alex, let's catch up for lunch, right? Yeah. So we caught up for lunch a week after. And then basically I never realized we have a common interest. And that was single malt whiskey. And he's got a very deep Scottish Welsh accent, which I love.
Oh, has he? Do you know where he was from originally?
We never got to that because he's been in Australia for such a long time, but he used to be a farmer, right? He used to drive tractors. He used to crisscross the country delivering hay. And then from that, he built his first business in trucking and went to something else, right? So we never got a chance to talk to where actually he's from, so it's more like his journey in business that I was more intrigued. And of course, a few bottles of single malt later on, I said, Dave, I can say it's Dave. Dave, I can understand you now after a bottle of single malt.
It's funny, you're speaking to a Scot who doesn't like whiskey and actually no longer drinks. But it's funny you say that because my husband's English, and anytime we'd be out drinking with Scottish friends, he said, every time we drink, you sound more Scottish. I can't understand you. So I'm surprised you understood your friend.
He did, and it was such a lovely guy. So God bless his soul. But yeah, and he once again, he was one of the great mentors I had that really shaped my life in terms about how you treat people, how you treat staff, and how you treat your business as well.
Mm.
Yeah,
Again, down to those relationships. It's a
relationships,
theme that's coming out
precisely.
there. What's obviously you work across different businesses and leadership
Hmm.
teams. What's a leadership mistake that you see being made time and time again?
Well, particularly, I've seen a lot of business owners that I've come across who's, the leader in the business, basically. And some of them don't want to listen because they pretend they know everything, right? And I always believe that, I think Kerry Packer, one of the richest men in Australia at one stage, he surrounded himself with people who knows um, more knowledgeable than him, right? So, never shy in asking help from people who knows better than you, right? And surround yourself with people who are better than you. That's the success to growth. And I've always had that in my mind because we don't know everything. And if we surround yourself with people who knows more than you that can complement your knowledge and understanding, hey, isn't that great? And a lot of business owners or leaders, particularly people in high positions, doesn't want to listen to that. Doesn't want to invite what I call it input or mentoring to help them grow personally.
Mm.
It's funny. I had a client as well that part of it was a succession plan, exit strategy. So I said, okay, part of your exit strategy, we need to build a business up to this level of revenue, and we will hire a general manager. Right? So you can slowly exit the business and then set up an advisory board. So you can call in once a month and basically see how things are and let the general manager run the business, right? So, and unfortunately, that general manager didn't work out because one, he failed to listen. He failed to get advice because he thinks he knows everything, right?
Mm.
So the first strategic strategy action plan he put together, and it was the directors of the company and an external accountant sat around the table, and we said, that's not a strategic direction, right? So if a lot of leaders fail to listen, understand, or seek help from people better than them, they're sure to fail, right? So, and that's why I always encourage, from people that I mentor to say, are you coachable in a way? Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to take this knowledge for your own personal development as well? Because I love seeing people grow. I love people seeing for them to be successful.
Mm.
That's why in my mentoring company, it's not chasing the money, because my passion is helping people grow, helping businesses grow and remain sustainable, right? That's my focus. That's my passion. Because if I see a successful business, I'm happy. If I see somebody personally grown through effective mentoring, I'm so happy with that, right? I'm working with a local council at the moment, mentoring small business startups, right? So um, we did about 3 sessions, and the first session was about who they are, what they do, what their business is all about. They were so shy and everything. In the last session, we did about how to pitch your business. They had more confidence in what they do. I loved their growth from that to be able to confidently pitch the business in terms of what they do. Because I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they were able to come out of their shell and be able to pitch their business more effectively,
Mm.
right?
What's
Because as a
the
business, sorry,
Sorry, I was
yeah,
just going to say when they go from being really shy and unsure to being able to effectively pitch their business for all the listeners who some might be struggle still to pitch. I've seen a lot of terrible pitches in networking groups. Um, what what would you say, like, if you could just give them one tip of looking at their pitch, what would it be?
well, it's basically what is their passion in their business. Why they want to start this business, and what product or services are they trying to sell out there, for example, and are you providing a solution to a gap in the marketplace? Because the biggest people that can pitch your business is yourself,
Yeah.
because you're the one, right? And I went through. I gave them some notes, a bit more, towards clarity in what you're actually doing, be able to communicate that more effectively, right? And basically, are you solving a problem in the marketplace?
Mhm.
So when I started my consulting and mentoring service, basically, that was the start of COVID. A lot of business owners was, how can I say, trying to navigate their way through out of COVID, mentally, physically, and from a business perspective as well. So it's all about timing. So I help a lot of business owners navigate their way through post COVID. After COVID, there's a lot of business owners who want to start up restaurants, right? So the first thing I asked them, said, why do you want to start up a restaurant? Oh, because I have this passion for cooking, blah, blah, blah. Now I have all this experience and I want to make something about myself. So I always ask the questions about their why, their purpose.
Mhm.
It takes you back to Simon Sinek about the golden circle, about your why and how. So I was taken back to that. And a lot of them are becoming successful in the restaurant. I have a client at the moment who has an idea, and then we translate that to a business model, to a concept to launch.
Mhm.
In the last 3.5 years, they have 3 branches now,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
Because they have their formula. I said to them, you have 2 simple rules. One, provide good food, consistent. Secondly, exceptional customer service. And customer service is, you don't have to pay for that. It's in your nature. It should be your standard operating procedure about providing good customer service, right?
Yes.
So fortunate enough, they've now have 3 beautiful branches across Melbourne. You
Fantastic.
know,
Fantastic.
yeah. So, and basically, going back to pitching, it's about clarity in what you're actually doing, right? And they can see that because you have the passion about your business, right?
Mm.
And so I take them through, I gave them some pointers, and then I went through a presentation about how to pitch your business in a way, be more confident, eye contact, how you stand, and basically they pitch the business in a safe environment, just amongst the participants in a way to give them that practice.
Yes.
Some were good, some need some notes. That's fine, that's okay, because eventually, practice makes perfect. So we went through information pitch about what your business is all about. It says about 3 to 5 minutes. And we went through an elevator pitch. You have 10, 15 seconds to tell me what you do. And that's the fun part.
But the shorter is always the hardest, right? It's the same. It's the
Yeah.
same in writing. It's so much easier to write an A4 page than it is a sentence. People
Mm.
really struggle to be concise, whether that's in spoken word or written. And I find that with what I do is a lot of businesses over explain what they do, and therefore their
Yeah.
message is diluted, and often you might still be unsure about what they do. So actually the more concise you can be, the better, but it's quite hard.
It is hard. And for me to come up with that, my purpose in business, right, is because, I love helping small businesses grow. So my pitch line is, someone asked me in an elevator, what do you do? I help small business. Let me start again. I help businesses grow and remain sustainable. That's my pitch. I help businesses grow and remain sustainable. So what's that? 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it leaves it open to then have more
Yeah.
questions, because my follow-up question was like, "Oh, how do you make them sustainable?" So it's opening up
Oh,
for more questions. Yeah.
correct. I said, oh,
Mhm,
listen, here's my card. Let's
mhm.
connect. Let's have a coffee and I'll explain that to you. Oh, yes, I need it. I need to grow my business. I need my business to remain sustainable. Yeah. Okay. Give me your card. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I love it. I'd like to change it a little bit in terms of
sure.
you talk a lot about mental health, and
Mm.
you are a is it a sponsor of Blue
So yeah, proudly
Beyond?
sponsor Beyond Blue. Yeah.
That's right, Beyond Blue. Yes. And why is mental health so close to your heart?
I went through that as a business owner. I did not help. I did not, how can I say, I did not know where to go for help during that time. And I was struggling mentally. Because sometimes, too, particularly blokes, tend to say, oh, we're the breadwinner. I don't have anyone to talk to. Right. So And being the breadwinner, you've got to make sure that, you provide food for your family, and, and sometimes too, the fear of failure, and there's a lot, that's a big stigma for business owners as well, because how the community perceives them, how their friends perceive them, how their family perceive them. And because sometimes too, when they fail, you have so many critiques. I told you so, right? So it's such a mental stress from that. So at the start of COVID, through the Beyond Blue program, that's called a mental health for small business owners. So you do that. It's a 10-hour course through Beyond Blue. It's free. So I did that. So I'm not a counselor, but I'm able to talk and refer people to Beyond Blue as well. So 10% of my fees goes to Beyond Blue. I sometimes during October, it's Mental Health Month. So I organize a long lunch for some of my clients, and proceeds go to Beyond Blue. So it's
Lovely.
important because as a business owner, you need to talk to somebody. Do not, sometimes too, the fear of failure overwhelms you and you don't know where to turn to. But you know what? It's okay to put your hand up. It's okay to ask questions. In, in one of the local councils that I mentor with, there's a lot of multicultural business owners that failure, it's not an option, and they struggle mentally how to get out of it. And I said to them, in here, it's okay. It's okay to put your hand up. A lot of successful businessmen, millionaires in Australia went through the same situation. They were bankrupt once. They failed their business. They should start up again but they did not start from scratch. They know how to next time because they've learned their lessons, right? Sometimes too, making mistakes and failure enables you to learn and understand how to better yourself from that. So that's why mental health is so close to me, because sometimes too, a lot of business owners just call me just to bounce things off. Sometimes I check in with them. How you going? Right? How's things? And it's important to talk openly. And that's why a business mentor is so important. That's why I classify myself as a mentor rather than a coach.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that fear of failure is so common, and like what you say, many people need to have the failure to then go on to build something really successful, because you learn from those failures. But if we don't talk more openly about it, then we don't realize that actually so many of us have got that fear
Yeah,
of failure, and it's okay, it's
absolutely.
normal. Yeah.
And that's why sometimes I have a client and, they were struggling for 2 years. And I came in and said, you know what? Close the business. That is the best option. Close the business, set up a payment plan for your creditors, and start up again, right? Because sometimes that is the best path, but it's okay to do that, so, but because the burden of mental health, what you're carrying at the moment by keeping open and sacrificing everything, remortgaging your house 6 times or whatever, right? It's the financial burden that just outweighs you. That's why people think, sometimes, the best end solution, but it's not the best end solution. There's better things to do, right? So because that makes you stronger in a way. That made me stronger, dealing with my mental health from that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So what motivated me during that time was reading books about how people overcome, how they become through their journey, and how they overcame that and become successful in life as well.
Yeah, hearing other people's stories. Is there one in particular that you that really stands out for you, that really helped you in those darker times?
Yeah, there was a book by Graham Alford. So I read his book. It's called Never Give Up. He was a very successful lawyer in Melbourne. He went through the other side, right? He was in jail and so forth, and came out of it, become successful, and set up some businesses as well, become an international speaker and so forth, right? But his journey from successful to downfall, to picking himself up, right, and become more successful than he was. To me, that was inspirational in how he navigates mentally through that process as well.
Mm.
Right. And the other book I was reading is from Gail Kelly. Gail Kelly was the first woman of the major banks. So she was the CEO of Westpac. And her journey of becoming a CEO of a boys' club, um, major banks, was so inspirational. That inspires me in that way. That wow, some people go through lens, right, from that, not to prove to anyone else, but to prove to herself that this is a journey and this is my ambition, and to become the CEO of Westpac. So inspirational, her book. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take great motivation from just hearing other people's stories, because sometimes you can get so stuck in your own story and what's going on. You
Yeah.
think, oh, I'm the only one. There's no way I can do it, and you let that negative talk get through you. But then, coming out of yourself and reading other people's stories, like, well, they can do it. Why can't I do it? So you can take some great motivation
Precisely.
from that. Mm.
And to do that is to really talk to someone, right? Have a chat, right? Have a chat to, people close to you. Yeah, because and sometimes it's good to talk to a stranger than someone close to you.
Sometimes easier, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's why it's great that I'm so grateful and truly humbled and blessed that the clients that I have, we build that trust around that in a way that they can just talk to me openly and freely without fear of being judged in a
Mm,
way.
mm.
And they know they can bounce things off with me as well in that way. So it's about relationship and trust, building from that. So because I treat my clients as, you know, more than just clients, because I really want to help them. Mm.
Fantastic. Alex, I could speak to you for hours, but we are
Yeah.
coming towards the end. But I always like to do a bit of a quick fire round at
Oh,
the end
okay.
of the
Sure.
episode.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just a few short questions and just what comes to mind. So, what's the best advice you've ever ignored?
Best advice I have ever ignored was I did not listen when I had my cafe business. I did not listen to people who know better than me.
Yeah, it comes back to what you were saying before. And when you were saying it before, the common phrase came to my mind: if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
When was the last time someone came to you for help, and what did they ask?
Oh, the last person that came to me for help was 2 days ago. They asked, in a way, they were in the restaurant business, right? They've been so successful. And they were 2 steps away from closing the doors after 10 years in business. And it just so happened, one of their friends said, "Why don't you call Alex and just have a chat?" And they rang me a couple of days ago and said, "Can we have a chat?" So we had a chat. I said, "Okay, before closing those doors, let's try something else." So we're catching up next week to put strategies together
Mm.
to continue on,
Oh,
right?
well, I hope it
So,
goes.
and basically from that sort of motivated them positively to say, "Wow, there is that solution. We never thought about that, right?" So they've changed their mindset to say, "Yes, we can get through this." So I'm sitting down with them next week and plan it out.
Fantastic. Well, I hope it all goes well for them. What does your grandson think you do?
Well, my grandson at the moment, he's nearly 10 months old.
Oh, so he doesn't think too.
So he looks at me and my grandson calls me Lulu. Lulu means grandfather in Filipino. And he's a beautiful boy. So
Mm.
ask me in 2 years' time.
And the
But
last, oh, sorry, go.
sorry, but my two beautiful sons,
Mhm.
Nathaniel is now 31 and young Alexander Jr. He's 31 years old and Nathaniel's 33. So they know exactly what I'm doing. And my eldest son wants to start his own business as well. So he said, "Oh, Dad, can you help me?" I said, "Sure." And my youngest son, my Alex Jr., started with me in my business and joined my business from the 1st of April of this year.
Exciting.
Now, because his skill sets really complements my skill sets. And because he comes from the hospitality industry, And I have a lot of hospitality clients. So his skill sets can really complement the services that we provide to our clients as well. So we're building that division. So my son's heading that division in
Exciting.
hospitality.
Father
Mm.
son duo.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm so excited. It's not about the privilege of him being my son, come to the business, but it's about his skill sets that can complement and enhance the services that we provide to the clients.
Yeah, fantastic. And the last question for me, it's a gift for the listeners. I pass it on. So, what's a reminder or a story or a moment from your journey that someone needs to hear right now?
My dad said to me before he passed away, it said, always look after your customers, build a relationship, never become transactional. Don't just for that single dollar and then you forget about them. Build that relationship because it is your customers that can help you grow and you grow together. And he built a very successful business in the Philippines in the 60s and 70s. He had one of the biggest hardware store. He had a bus service. He had a fishing fleet as well. So that was very successful, and he built that on trust and relationship with his customers. That was the piece of advice he gave to me.
That's
And
beautiful
since
advice.
then, I've always ingrained in me.
Yeah, yeah. Look after your customers and your people, and build those relationships.
Yeah, and you know what? Be open to your customers because a lot of because people think, oh, customers are dumb, but they're not. They have this, they have this bullshit detectors that goes up, and they can detect straight away, right? So be open, be honest, be transparent with them, right? So if you stuff up, you stuff up. Be open. Don't hide it, and always build that trust and relationship with your customer.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Alex, you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, for all the listeners,
Mhm.
where can they reach you if they want to connect with you after this episode? Where's the best place to get in touch with you?
Sure, thanks, Alex. So you can reach out to me on my website, www.atlasbusiness.consulting, or I'm in Lincoln. Look me up under Alex C. And basically, or you can send me an email, info@atlasbusiness.consulting. Thanks a lot.
Lovely. And we'll drop it all in the show notes as well. Thanks so much, Alex. You've been great.
Alex, thank you so much. It's been wonderful, and thank you for this opportunity in sharing all that to your listeners.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Thank you.